And we're back. It is week 6. There's my special guy. The football show presented by KG Law. Cookies, what's going on, brother? How you doing, buddy?
I am dialed in because this week we're leading into the game of all games for this show.
Yeah, and I'm pumped up for it. Lions-Chiefs will definitely be a headliner tonight. Thanks to everybody for joining us, because I'm going to tell you, this was kind of an IHOP day of the NFL. This was flat as a pancake. But we've got good things to talk about. But holy hell. Jim, there's always a couple weeks like this where you look at the games, you're like, all right, not ideal. And then you start watching the games and you're like, oh, shit. These are, woo,
that early window. Ugh.
Be happy you were doing Lions pre for Raiders and Titans, and we'll leave it there. Let's get to 5 big things brought to you by KG Law Firm. We got to start. We have an alert. We have an APB. Someone alert Interpol, DEFCON 1. You put on here alert 0-17 watch. This can only mean gangrene, right?
82 yards of offense. And Mike, it almost feels like a typo. -10 net passing yards. It's the worst game in Jets history and the worst by any team in 27 years.
Okay, is there a question in there, or should I just puke all over the microphone?
Well, the question asked afterwards to Aaron Glenn was, hey, like, you considering a quarterback change? And he scoffed at it. Aaron, it was -10 passing yards. You can say he's our guy, but it's not a bad question.
Yeah, you can't hit it with the what kind of question is that, bro thing. Here, let me unwind this, because I want your take, because I got asked about this on the kickoff show with Boomer, and my fear is it took Dan Campbell a long time to get it going, right? First year, they won 3 football games. Now, it looked better than this. I can't tell you it didn't look better. It did. But not all situations are equal. The second thing is it was year 2, and Dan was 1-6 with a couple of heavies on the schedule. And you go, man, if he ends up 1-9, 1-10, he's going to get clipped. So my fear is Aaron Glenn's not in Detroit. This is New York. And I'm not saying that in some chesty, arrogant ass manner. I'm saying the market is the market. I just really hope they give Aaron time, because otherwise, Jim, what was the point in the first place?
And he's supposed to change the culture, and it doesn't happen overnight. I just think I'll meet Jets fans halfway here. Dan Campbell can't save Aaron Glenn's job. In other words, the idea that he will become Dan Campbell and there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, Jets fans don't want to hear it, and I get it, because up until this week, they hadn't forced a turnover, and on offense, they're setting records that go back 3 decades. So that's why I asked the question, is 0-17 actually on the table here?
I always hesitate to do that this early. We are at the 33% mark of the season.
When we get to the 2/3 mark?
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. The next 3-4 weeks, yes.
Okay.
I mean, if you end up, you're sitting there and you're like 0-9, 0-10, no, we got to have a conversation. Give me a few weeks on that.
Okay.
But it leads me to point number 2, because, look, all smarm aside, I hate these Europe games. I don't know how the people feel. Maybe they'll tell us in the comments. The point is, what is the end game here? Because invariably, and I can't, prove this. I didn't do a deep dive into over a decade of European, showcases. But it feels like 3 of every 4 games are absolutely regrettable, wish they weren't played, awful. It's almost like asking entire organizations to fly halfway across the world, not for an exhibition, not a preseason game, in your season, in real time, hurts the product. This game today was just the latest, and yes, a morbid example. But what's the end game?
So grow the game. But if I was trying to get you to come to my restaurant, I wouldn't serve you moldy food. The product we're using to entice the London and British and European.
Who the hell did they entice today?
Right. Hey,
oh my God.
Open wide.
Maybe drug sales were up. Entice you to, I don't know, pull a Charlie Sheen and blast a rock.
Well,
Jesus. -10 yards passing.
And what's the end game? We're going to put a team over there?
See, what's funny? 5-6 years ago, I actually believed that's what they were angling to. Do you remember that weird, Shad Khan arc where it was he overpaid for the franchise, all his business interests are over there, and it was oh, well, the Jags are going to go to London. And you're like, really? And then it kind of felt like it was trending that way. But I don't know what the end game is, because the reality, it's a global game already. Does it really make a difference playing one showcase game? And I still believe they're hiring those fans. Those are not real fans.
Paid actors.
I mean, they pan the crowd, and some guy's got a Mark Gastineau jersey on. So that's one of two things. A dude from Great Neck flew over there and blew his budget, or you gave somebody. It's like when a team loses the Super Bowl and kids in Panama are wearing Rams Super Bowl champions. One problem: they scored 3 points. Like, come on.
And did I hear they want to do a game in Australia? Like, what's the end game? We're going to put a team in Australia and London, and it's going to be global. The travel's impossible. You can't do it.
No, just playing the moon at this point. All right. I want to get to number 3 because this is a proud moment for me. Like, I got killed by my co-host in the afternoon, Rico Beard. I wasn't a big Caleb Williams guy. I was a Drake Maye guy. I was a slap for this guy. Now, I know last year was a little bit of a lost season. Jim, he's real. I mean, not only going to Buffalo and the passing game leading it, they went down to New Orleans today. They did not have a ground game to lean on. And I'm telling you, people, if you didn't watch the game, 18 of 26 for 261 and 3 TDs, that doesn't even tell you the story of how good he was. There were a couple throws he made, Jim. There's a handful of guys in the league who could have made him, and his receiver let him down. I'm talking deep, tight window, sideline throws. Jim, Drake Maye's arrived. And I'll tell you what, if the Bills trick around and lose, guess who's in first place in the East? The Patriots. So I just wanted your take on it because I know I've always been higher on this kid than you.
You have been, and it'd be easy for me to like put on the hater hat and go,
don't do it if you don't like it.
It's the Saints. It's the Saints, Mike. It doesn't count. It's the Saints, but that's not fair. You got to use your eyes.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about a 3rd and 17 throw he hit that didn't stand. And then on 3rd and 27, he put it right back in the dude's hands. They were vertical shots. He looked like he was able to threaten and challenge down the field. This isn't like, let's protect and shelter our young quarterback. It looked like, what's our word there? Arrival. It looked like he's starting to arrive.
He is. And again, I know I pieced 2 games together because of the Buffalo thing, but here's the other thing. I kept thinking about this today is we always obsess about the talent of the players and arm talent and, he's got elite this and that. I have come to a point like 80% of it, I think, comes down to situation and timing. Mm-hmm. I just look at what happened last year. Drake Maye gets drafted. They didn't have a real coach. They didn't have a real OC. They didn't have a plan. They bring in Vrabel, but they brought in Josh McDaniel. And then they brought in Steph Diggs. And then they drafted Travion. And they spent a bunch of money on the defense, which plays into we can ask less of you. Look, I keep thinking about your guy, Cam Ward. And we'll get to his game later. You're going nowhere fast. Tennessee's got to burn that to the ground. You've got to shelter this kid, nurture this kid. I think a lot of it. Look, I've given up on the whole Trevor Lawrence elite thing. The point is, he had 4 coaches in 4 years, 4 coordinators in 4 years. How much of it? It's just situation. Am I oversimplifying it?
I agree. I think it's a lot of it. The talent's big, but you don't get drafted in the first if you don't have talent. The situation matters more than your talent does.
Well, and hell, look at Sam Darnold now. I mean, I know I goof around about, you can't win with a ginger, but let's be real. He's playing well. He's in a good situation in Seattle. He was in a great situation. I know he didn't win the big game against the Lions, and then they tanked in the playoffs, but he still won 14 games last year.
Speaking of the Lions, I mean, we went through this in Detroit in front of our own eyes, what Goff was thought of versus what they built up around him and what he's become and how he's grown and matured. It's situation matters.
Let's bring up, I'll tell you what, that's a perfect segue because I thought Seattle had the win of the day. I don't know if you agree. McDaniel does not lose on the road with this team. They've won like 9 in a row on the road. I don't know why they can't win at home, but they go down to Jacksonville. That is extreme travel. It's extreme heat, and it's a Jags team that's feeling themselves. And you know what they did today? Even though they went 1 for 12 on 3rd downs, even though they didn't have a running game to speak of, they didn't feed into the Jags bullshit. They didn't turn the ball over. And you know what they didn't do? The Jags never touched the red zone. 16 to 27 for Darnold. They were impactful. And JSN has turned into a top 5 receiver, and they did what they needed to do. That's a great bounce back for Seattle. Houston on tap. Defense played a lot better. They tightened the screws. Look, I know I can't get last week's game back, but I mean, McDonald, if they had won last week, he'd be talked about as coach of the year. He's doing a really nice job.
I was going to bring him up even with the loss a week ago. I think he's in the conversation, and I know Steichen is the favorite, and you can keep him up on his perch. But what is Mike McDonald or Mike? Yeah, what is Mike McDonald working with in Seattle? Does he have an elite quarterback? Does he have an elite group of defensive personnel? Do they have an elite unit period on this team? And yet they're 4-2. They're in the thick of the race. If they win that division, he's going to be 1, 2, or 3 on the ballot for Coach of the Year.
You know what kills me with the whole Coach of the Year thing? This is why I don't like the awards, because I don't feel like they're graded appropriately. Is I feel like you have to take the situation into account. Like, let's say, for instance, we know Dan Campbell's an elite coach or Andy Reid's an elite coach. They're expected to win 12 games, 11 games, 13 games. Give me the guy who's in a brutal division with an unfinished product who goes 10-7, 11-6. You know what I mean? Like, give me that person as the Coach of the Year.
Think about it. They replaced their quarterback and like 250 targets in the passing game, right? You lose DK Metcalf, you lose Fant, you lose Lockett. All that's left is Jackson Smith and Shigba. And they found a way to play a shootout last week, albeit in the loss, but grimy defensive games on the road. That's a testament to the coach, because they are not an elite football team. I really thought preseason this team could be picking in the top 5, and here they are fighting for first place.
And the road preparation matters. Hard to win on the road. I got a power stat about winning on the road later. We'll get to it. I termed this, and I wanted to do this is a bit of an homage for you, because obviously you're a big Lions guy, but you're also a smart human. You're very good at what you do. I termed it empty calories. The story of the 2025 Green Bay Packers. Only through a third of the season, empty calories. At halftime today, they had outgained Cincinnati, which, by the way, I don't know what they were doing with Joe Flacco. It bordered on elder abuse. Now, I know he got it cooking late when they were down big, but work with me. They'd outgained him 240-60. They were only up 10-0. And I've watched enough of the Pack this year. I wanted to know if my theory has any legs to it. Their lack of a number one wide receiver, a guy that commands a double, a guy that forces safety help to one side, is what's killing them. Because when you get in the red zone, it's really players, not plays. They don't have that type of guy. Teams are able to just zone them up, clog everything up, and they do struggle to run the football still. I mean, at one point today, deep in the game, Jacobs was averaging 3.4 a carry, Jim. So I wanted your take on it, because between the 20s, they kill you. But then it's like, fellas, what do you have to show for it? And yes, there was a bad red zone interception by Jordan Love. Just wanted to state it for the record so you could enjoy that, delight in that.
Thank you.
But what do you make of that theory? They're trying to do it with a collection of twos.
Well, yeah, they don't have a number one receiver, and that's why they used the first on Golden, and they got him involved a little bit today. He was their leading receiver. But coming into today, their leading receiver was the tight end, Kraft.
Yeah, and then Romeo Dobbs.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of that shows you what kind of football team they are right now. They do not have a number one player. Their red zone is going to struggle because of it.
Yeah. And again, look, it's early. They need to be right for December. I'd say they need to be right for Thanksgiving Day. If that, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know.
There. But here's the wild note. And I before I shovel too much dirt on them, because I'm getting pissed watching. Today marks from the time they played the Lions. Okay. Today was the only time between now and their next home game, a 51-day stretch. They played at home once, and that was today. I do wonder about the scheduling angle here. I don't know. It was something I wanted to just say, which, by the way, how could the schedule makers do that to any team? 51 days?
Yeah, it sounds ridiculous. Like I'm a little stunned to hear it. This was off a bye, though. So yes. I just think some of that counters like, hey, you had a chance to reset, refresh, and you're letting Cincy hang around. Wild that they would have that big a gap. But
yeah, but again, I think that's what I think that's what makes the Lions really special. Okay. And I think that is what makes the Bills special when they're right. They don't let teams hang around. Mm-hmm. They drop a bomb on you. Like, it's just different. Putting teams away is really hard in a league where, 55% of games are decided by one score or less. It's hard to do. Now, you're playing some absolute garbage. You should put them away. And Green Bay had some opportunities, but what did they do coming out of the half? I think it was an 18-play touchdown drive. It took like 8 hours. They rewrote the New Testament in the same time, and the Bengals come right down the field. Now it's 17-10.
Yep.
All the empty calories. Now, they did answer. But what did they do again? Another drive, it just, It's not at the Lions level. It's not now. They've got some time, but it's not where it needs to be. Very disappointing. All right, you give them a word from our sponsors, and then we got to get to a rundown. I got some good power stats for you, and hopefully I can impress you with a couple of these.
So let's do it. Let's tell you about KG Law. The football show is brought to you by KG Law. You've been on these roads. People are maniacs. If you or someone you love is in a car accident, don't mess around. Get someone who cares about you. 877-KG-CARES, kgcares.com. You get the extra attention from a law firm that cares and puts you first. KG Law specializes in car accidents, so they're not going to leave money on the table. They're not going to settle for some lousy insurance lowball. Get my guy, Lawrence KG, and KG Law at 877-KG-CARES. That's KAJY, kgcares.com.
I'm calling KG on Monday. I will be filing a lawsuit against Jonathan Smith of Michigan State University. Let's get to the rundown brought to you by Hungry Howie's. Steelers and Browns. This is IHOP, flat pancake. It was a business trip. And here's what I'll tell you. The Steelers rather, excuse me, guys. The Steelers getting healthy up front mattered. Highsmith back, took out the running game. There was nothing for Cleveland, and they forced a rookie to throw it 52 times, about 3 feet at a time, and played clean, didn't turn it over. Aaron Rodgers, good pacemaker day, good game management day, and they win 23-9. I didn't have any knock on the Steelers. It was fine enough.
No, they were in control. Like you said, put Dylan Gabriel in a position to beat him, and you knew a rookie making his first road start wouldn't.
Not the other note with 2 times. You got to have a running game if you're going to ask him to go there and beat them.
The other note for the Steelers is, hey, they're putting a bunch of separation between them and the rest of the division. Whether we think they're good or even great, I don't think they're great. They might not even be good. They're putting themselves in a position to lock this division up before the end of December.
Yeah, and we'll get to your critical question of the day momentarily. Can we go Chargers-Dolphins? There's a lot to unpack with this game. A lot of it is in the postgame. I've got a Tua quote. I know the audio and the video is available, but I had his quote sent to me. Look, Chargers are major trouble. I know they won the game, and they won it because they have Justin Herbert. And Herbert, on the seminal moment of this game, was seemingly wrapped up by 2 defensive linemen, breaks the tackle, switches hands with the football, puts it back in his throwing hand, rifles a pass to Ladd. Ladd gets it in field goal range. They go win the game. Here's the question. Why do you need to go win the game? They're just the offensive line. Jim, their guys hanging all over Herbert all day. I know it was only a couple of sacks for the Dolphins. They're the worst pass rush in the league, statistically, I believe. They were all over him. And I understand. No Amari and Hampton. No Najee Harris. Guys, everyone's got injuries. If this is the offensive line that they are offering, they're not going to the playoffs. And defensively, Jim, you cannot allow the Miami Dolphins score 27 points. You can't. Tua threw you 2 picks. He did his part.
Counting the ending one.
Yes. But they have gone from Super Bowl caliber team, and I do think the injuries at the wrong spots. Jim, I'm worried about the Chargers big time.
Yeah, Herbert officially only sacked once, but you talked about it on the big play of the game. He should have been sacked a second time, and there were a couple more of those throughout the day. When Tua's spotting you 2, I know 3 picks when all is said and done, it shouldn't come down to the last possession. Flat out shouldn't.
No, defense not good enough. Let me read you this quote because Tua kind of went off, and I don't know if he's got the legs to do this, right? Like, I don't know if he's got – we talked about this with Cam Ward. You have to be careful with stuff like this. Here's his quote after the game. It starts with leadership, setting expectations, defining expectations, and what we need out of you. We have guys showing up late to players-only meetings. We have guys not showing up to players-only meetings. Okay. How does McDaniel have a job?
Well,
how is this happening?
He should be fired. We've been on that train. If you're going to call out leadership, he's going to get fired, right?
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
You think so?
Sure. I mean, why not?
That's a damning quote because he's basically saying we need leadership to tell guys what their job is, tell them what they need to do and where they need to be. Then you got guys showing up late. What is this, grade school?
Well, again, they feel like they can because the head coach is aloof. I mean, it's not just what we see at the podium where he's weird and aloof and disconnected. Now your quarterback's saying that has permeated the organization. Guys are sloughing off. They aren't taking this seriously. You need a leader to come in. He used the word leader and galvanize this team, even if it's someone in the interim that's just going to hold guys accountable. No, that's damning for your head coach. That's your quarterback essentially saying, I want my head coach fired.
Yeah.
But you hit on another thing. Hey, Tua, don't throw 3 picks. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, you got to do your job too.
Yeah. No, you're right. Ravens, Rams, look, if you still think this Ravens team's alive at 1-5, I give you credit. I can't get there. Rams had no desire to be there today. They looked like their flight was delayed and they were sitting in the airport lounge. It was gross on all levels, insanely flat, largely did nothing, did enough, but my God. I mean, it was awful, okay? The main thing that comes out of this game, unless you would like to finally come to my side and say that the Ravens at 1-5 are toast, the analytics disco, I think I can get you on my side with something. McVay up 14, 17-3. You are inside the 10. I think they're at the 7-yard line. You got 4th and 4, 4th and 5. Okay. I view it with 13 minutes to go. I'm playing the ghost of Cooper Rush. And at that point, they had put in Tyler Huntley. I mean, come on. I trust my defense. I can get up 17 right here. They're not scoring 3 times. He got YOLO. They go for it, fail, and it stays a 2-score game. Come on. Yes.
Thumbs down.
All right, I got one.
Okay. I texted you in the moment. I go, look, I know I'm the aggressive go for it guy. Situation matters. The other team's on their backup, 3rd string, whatever it is at this point. Go up 3 scores, insurmountable. It ended up not mattering because 2 scores was insurmountable, but I thought that was the wrong decision at the time. It wasn't 4th and 1 or 4th and 2. I believe it was 4th and 3. Kick the field goal, go up 3 scores, and the game's over. But hey, real quick on the Ravens. Yeah. They were going into this weekend the betting favorite to win the division at 1-4. So I'm not like Looney Tunes on some island by myself. I would concede they're taking on far too much water. The good news, they got a bye week. You get guys on defense, you get Lamar, and it's your last stand. Coming out of the bye, they'll be at home against the Bears. They get the Dolphins. They've got Vikings and Browns and Jets and Bengals. The runway's still there, and it's why. Like, I'm not trying to be obtuse or an idiot. I know they're 1-5. I'm not giving up just yet.
Well, guess who else didn't give up this week? Where did that come from the Arizona Cardinals? Now, the Colts win 31-27. They needed a touchdown late to do it. I don't know where the Jacoby Brissett I'm alive game. Brissett played pretty damn strong. I mean, the Colts defense has been so good. You give up 320 to Brissett. But Jonathan Taylor does what he does. How about this for Danny Dimes? All right. Indiana Jones, as he's known now. Under pressure today, Daniel Jones was 9 of 9, 93 yards, 1 touchdown for a 148.6 QBR. Under pressure. It's amazing. Remember we talked about situation? Getting out of New York was the best thing for him because he's flourishing. He played really well today. The Cardinals, it's just more of the same. They're a loser organization. Just burn it to the ground. Will you please? Just blow it up.
I don't want to give them too much love because I agree with you, but you're on a backup quarterback. You're on the road. Marvin Harrison Jr. leaves. And the fact that they were even in the game in the 4th quarter, they haven't quit on their guy.
It's just if there's a way to lose, they will find it. That's just blow it up. Panthers, Cowboys, it's a tough day when one of the most, maybe the most entertaining game is Panthers, Cowboys at 1 p.m.
It was.
In front of about 20,000 people in Charlotte. Excuse me, guys. Apologies. So look, morbidly entertaining, but here's why I can't go overboard about the Panthers being 3-3 in the win. Because they're going to be 4-3 if they're professional at all. More on that in a second. Dallas is that bad. And you're not going to get 200 yards rushing every week. The last 2 weeks, the Panthers have won with 250 yards rush. I mean, Rico Dowdell, it was like Earl Campbell, 13 for 183. Here's the problem. If you want me to take you seriously, I need a non-Jets road win. Do you know what Bryce Young is career on the road? Not against the spread. We loved Carolina today getting 3. Not against the spread.
It's terrible. What is it?
1-15. He's a completely different guy away from home. Now, next week's the Jets. It is a road game, factually, but it's the Jets. If you want me to believe in this team, you can win next week. Show me a non-Jets road win, and then I'll listen.
So back-to-back wins for the Panthers. First time since week 9 and 10 of last season. This is big for Canales more than it is for Bryce Young. I thought they did a nice job. Obviously, you have the advantage on the ground. Play action, rollout, bootleg, doing a good job, especially milking the clock at the end of the game, possessing the football. That's big for him. And maybe it'll be 3 wins in a row. I don't know the last time they had 3 wins in a row. I think it's bigger for him than it is Bryce.
Fair. Analytics quickly. Canales, 4th and 4, just over midfield, just over 2 minutes left in a tie game. He goes for it instead of punting and pinning. Bryce makes a really good throw to, I'm still in the league, Hunter Renfrow. Thumbs up, sideways, or down.
Look, that was as nerve-wracking a call as you're going to make. But if you punt it, the Cowboys have been carving you up. It's the one thing they do is throw the ball. Pickens had a huge day today. That was one of those, what do we have to lose? We're a 2-3 football team. Either we're going to go win the game or we're going to keep being the Carolina Panthers.
I actually was oddly okay with it. You're Carolina. And that's a moment. And now maybe it galvanizes you.
Yep.
Raiders-Titans, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on. A football game was played. Both of these teams, both franchises are going nowhere fast. And Geno Smith, it's his worst QBR since his rookie year. Congratulations, Geno. You kept your streak alive. Another interception. The only team the Raiders would have beat playing the way they played today, 2, the Jets, and who they played here, the Titans. The game was atrocious. Cam Ward looked lost. Last week was a total fluke. Again, I'd get rid of both these coaches and start over. Max Crosby, by the way, he should sue that franchise. He had a wonderful game again. It's going nowhere. Bucs and Niners. I want to spend a little time here. First of all, Fred Warner left air cast. He's dead. Despite zombie status and Shanahan magic and all the rest, Jim, come on, man. This has got to be the end of the line for them, right? No Nick Bosa, no Fred Warner, who's the heartbeat of that defense. Whether Purdy comes back, Kittle comes back, I can't get there. I wanted your take.
3 best football players on this team are Nick Bosa, hurt, Fred Warner, hurt, and I think I'd say CMC, but they can't run the ball. So the one healthy guy, they're forcing him to catch passes and run into brick walls. This has been my red flag all along. If you can't run it, Kyle Shanahan offense is only going to be so good, and now you're dropping like flies on defense.
I just want to give you my Baker MVP spiel. The 3rd and 14 in this game where he was wrapped up like a Christmas present, broke 2 tackles, gets in the open field, jukes a guy's nutsack to the ground, and gets the first down by stretching the ball out like a cartoon character. Baker's him. No Godwin, no Evans, no Bucky Irving, and for added points, Emeka Egbuka blew his hamstring out, and he left the game. No problem. We'll throw to Tez Smitherman. You corrected me on my Tez's. What was it? It's not Watkins. It's
you said Tez Watkins on the phone earlier. It's Tez Johnson, the little tiny, the Oregon receiver.
4 feet tall.
Mike,
I mean, and he just, okay, no problem. We'll throw dimes to him.
I'm not trying to quiz you or catch you off guard here. Do you know who their leading receiver was today?
Kate Otten?
Cameron Johnson, who came into today with this many career receiving yards. This is 0. He had never caught a pass undrafted in his NFL career, and he's the leading receiver in a big spot for his team. Baker's working with nothing. And for people who are watching this, we are a lot of Lions fans tuning in. It would be like if Goff lost Amon-Ra, J-Mo, Gibbs, and Montgomery, and was every week finding ways in the fourth quarter to win.
MVP.
We'd be campaigning for MVP. We should be doing the same for Baker.
Now, what makes me sad, and then I know we got to get moving, I know next week the Lions are going to be beat up, and so are the Bucs. We're not going to get the matchup we deserve as fans. You want the Lions full tilt. You want the Bucs full tilt. Monday Night Football. I don't want an infirmary report. I want a showdown, but maybe it'll happen in the playoffs. All right, let's get a word from Hungry Howie's. Prep you guys for Sunday night. Pizza does work. Hungry Howie's is repping Detroit because, well, they've got great Detroit-style pizza. Look, the whole menu, you know what you're getting. The best ingredients, in-house made dough, real cheese. A lot of places can't say that, believe it or not. And the Detroit-style pizza, right now, it's priced competitively. $12.99. All you need to do, get on over to hungryhowies.com and celebrate boldly with all of our great local sports right now. It's Hungry Howie's authentic Detroit-style pizza. Go to hungryhowies.com. Let's get to the Lions preview. It's what a lot of people are here for. We're pumped for the game as well. Brought to you by Moran Chevrolet. Cooks, I know we talked about it on Cash the Ticket. Talk to me. I mean, I do feel like in the NFL, there are scheduled spots where it's like, oh, shit, we're in trouble this week. You're on the road in primetime, back against the wall, Patrick Mahomes. You don't have your starting corners. You're starting at left tackle, or perhaps your cat is. Good news, Branch and Kirby Joseph are playing, which was absolutely necessary if you had any hope here. But where are you at now that the injury report is fully out? What's your confidence level? Because you did pick the Lions.
I did pick the Lions, and I needed to know both those safeties were playing because they already are missing two corners, and Mahomes has been throwing more vertical shots. They've been throwing the ball more in general this year because they don't have a run game. He's their leading rusher, right? So I need to know I got my safeties. I think that's huge for the game tonight. I think the other big edge for the Lions, play action. Chiefs are 32nd in yards per attempt on play action, 32nd EPA per pass, and Goff is number 2 in the NFL play action passer rating. So that's the key today. You got to run it, play action, pass it, and you may have to win a shootout, Mike. I mean, Goff's done it in a big spot against Mahomes before. The Lions have gone into Arrowhead before. I agree with you. This is not a good spot. No. Kansas City's all the way down their injury report, healthy and full participants on Friday. They need this game. I think it's going to be a nail-biter, but I do have the Lions winning it.
Yeah, look, the play action point, I said it Friday on the show. This is a JMO game. Because Spagnuolo is going to absolutely overload the box. He is going to try. He's going to try. I don't know if anybody can take away the Lions running game, but he's going to try, which this is a Jameson Williams game. This is an over-the-top shot play. You know, JMO's going to have a moment tonight. I really don't think 15 play drives are in the offing. The other angle of it is this, and again, for me, you've got to take control of this thing. If you leave anything to doubt, the refs are going to fuck you. Okay? The script writers will be out tonight. We've seen what happens in big games at Arrowhead. And mind you, if the Chiefs lose tonight, they are dead. Okay? Do not let the refs screw you. I highly suggest you keep this game in your control. I think the Lions have to play a little bit of keep away. And I know that's not how they want to do it, but I think that's how they need to do it tonight.
Oh, no, I think there's merit to it. I do. Look, Mahomes is throwing downfield. Tyquan Thornton's been their deep shot. They also have Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy. They're going to challenge these Lions corners. And if you turn it into a shootout, I still like the Lions, but ideally you're giving your defense breathers. Ideally, you're helping these guys out. Like, Mike, the other question I have is, they're a heavy man-to-man defense. Are we going to see them back off a little bit here and say, hey, we think our front can get home on Kansas City's O-line. We're going to help our corners who are backups by making Kansas City go on 10, 12, 14 play drives and looking for a tackle for loss, a sack, put them in 3rd and long, make them earn it, and maybe a Brian Branch who's playing gets a takeaway the way he did the last time they played at Arrowhead.
See, I think your 3rd down defense, you can do that, where you kind of just, if you can get them into a 3rd and 7 or longer, that's where I think you could zone it up. Keep everything in front of you. Just kind of corral Mahomes. He's going to be running into 3 or 4 people. But the other side of it is, if I'm Kansas City, look, Amik Robertson's capable. He's a pit bull, but he's small. Who's the other corner? Yeah. You know, who's the guy? Like, if I'm Kansas City, tonight's going to have a lot of pre-snap candy because I'm going to find out what coverage you're in simply by the pre-motion and go, okay. And if you're going to be in man, I can manipulate things. If you're in man, that's where Mahomes' legs can play a role. But the Lions did a wonderful job against Lamar. And not all sacks are equal, meaning Lamar ran himself into sacks trying to extend plays because the Lions just put a fence up. So I wonder if that same plan happens tonight. Look, this is the fun, right? This is why we love games like this.
Dude, this is awesome. I mean, and I know you picked the Chiefs, and what I'm not going to do is vilify you because I totally see where you're coming from, and we know the Lions aren't going 15-2. Like, I know it's really easy to go shun the non-believer. He doesn't believe. Dan Campbell primetime, bro. I'm not going to do that to you. I get what you're saying. The Lions are kind of an outlier, and they're the type of team that goes and wins these games. But at the same time, this is not a gimme. This is a total spot for Kansas City backed against the wall. I also look at Chris Jones and go, hey, dude, you just got humiliated because you gave up on the final play. Mike, I can't wait to see what he looks like. Interior Lions O-line looks a lot better than week 1. This is a different animal. If Chris Jones plays his best ball, that's one way Kansas City can blow up The run, the play action pass, Jared Goff, you name it. Chris Jones, watch him.
And you got no left tackle. Spags is going to work that.
And he's a creative, disguised blitz guy. Now, Goff is also, at this point in his career, very good at diagnosing. That's the game within the game tonight is Spags versus Goff.
Yeah. And again, I know, and I appreciate what you said. It's like, it's been a weird vibe is that, like, I can say the Lions are the best team in the NFC after 5 weeks. Now we're in week 6. I don't care if they lose 38-0 tonight, win 38-0. You will come out of tonight the best team in the NFC. Okay? Yeah, you're going to lose games. It's the NFL.
And think about it. If they lose, it's an AFC loss. I wonder, they would never admit this, and I don't think they ever concede football games. But how much of this is, hey, Decker, shoulder, going to be a nagging thing all year? I'd rather you take one more. We're not going to concede. We're going to try to win. But if you can't go, I need you against Tampa. That game's NFC. It's seeding. I've got the bye the week after. I wonder if Decker, Aleem McNeil's another one where they say, hey, you're 51%. They'll never admit they're conceding, but is this strategic, playing the long game, learning from last year?
I'm not going to be the one to fight you. How about that? All right. Let's get to a word from Moran, and then we will get to our C4 question of the week.
Truck Month is back at Moran Chevrolet. Perfect time to elevate your tailgating at Moran, Michigan's #1 selling Chevy dealer. The best game days start in a 2026 Silverado LT Crew Cab. You can lease one right now for $179 a month, 24 months. A new Silverado for $179 a month. Come on. You're not going to see prices like that anywhere else. Lease a 25 Equinox LT, $299 a month, 36 months. The entire team at Moran makes the whole process simple, fast, and stress-free. So whether you're buying, leasing, or servicing your car, everyone at Moran makes sure you are well taken care of. Find your ride fast and easy at MoranExpress.com or stop by on Gratiot, just north of 15 Mile in Clinton Township. Moran Chevrolet, where you always get the best price, period. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
All right, let's get to our C4 Energy question of the week, and I think I know Jim's answer on this. C4 Ultimate available in 3 flavors, Frostbitten Citrus, which is the Evan Jenkins special, Tropical Tundra Frost, and then the Cherry Bomb Frost as well. Andrew from Chesterfield, who is the front runner for MVP? Okay, that is shameless. Who is the front? You better be careful, 8 o'clock at night with those things. Watch yourself now, son. Who's the front runner for MVP? 1, 2, 3. Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, might change next week. But Andrew, tonight, no one's doing more with less. 4 heroic comebacks. They win again today, and he's throwing the ball to Jim's cat. And I mean, come on.
Yeah. Look, I think the betting favorite on the books is Josh Allen. Baker was 10-1 when we talked about it on the podcast this week. I don't mind that because, Mike, they do have a shot at the 1 seed. What he's doing without help, they should only get better once those guys come back.
Yeah. If they come to Detroit shorthanded and they beat this Lions team, doesn't mean they're better than the Lions or I'll pick them in the playoffs, but you can just hand them the trophy at that point to me. Because what he's doing is remarkable.
Who else is, in the spirit of the question, who else is a consideration? So Baker, I know Allen. I told you Mahomes has crazy odds. He's their leading rusher. If they win tonight against the Lions and get the train back on the tracks, he'll be in it. Anybody else?
2 words, Jackson Dart. Just please, for 1 week, I want to feel good about myself. That's all. Okay. No, I don't really. That's the thing. Look at all the quarterback injuries. Look at what's going on in the league. It's a weird year. Hell, look. If Goff has a hot couple of weeks and the Lions have this unbelievable record, you can ramp up the Goff MVP stuff. Look, if he wins tonight in Arrowhead, it's a week-to-week thing. But I think comprehensively so far, Baker Mayfield to me. All right, let's get a word from C4. We'll break down the Monday night stuff and get you guys to the Lions game. You got a question for us, get to a participating 7-Eleven. Look for the QR code and the C4 Energy display on the cooler. Scan it, ask the question, and for a list of participating 7-Elevens, and for details, 971theticket.com. C4 Energy, it's the energy you need. 200 milligrams of good caffeine in the performance or 300 in the Big Daddy Ultimate Energy. And C4, it's not traditional. It's not filled with garbage. It's sugar-free, made for athletes, high-quality science people. So go and get some. C4 Performance Energy or the Ultimate at 7-Eleven. And remember, if you got a question for us, get to 7-Eleven. I just combined words. And find the QR code at the C4 Energy display. All right, brother. We got a pair of Monday night games, and I loathe the double dip, but both these games are really fun. Brought to you by Crocodile Cloth. You put it on here, you're like, hey, which one do you like better? I'm like, I like them both. That's why I don't want them on at the same damn time. Bills at Atlanta, for me, this is Bills bounce back versus Atlanta credibility. Like, if you want to be taken seriously, okay, Raheem, it's your time. Also, Bills front seven. Here's your latest test to see if the moves you made are going to work and have you gelled. You've had 10 days to prep for Atlanta's run game. Figure it out. The other game is Bears Commanders. Simple for me. Ready? Bears off a bye. This is the best bullet they'll have to fire. Ben, did you tighten the screws? Show me. This is a Bears credibility game. Like, show me, because I don't think a lot of Washington. Your take.
I don't either. I think if you're Ben Johnson, while you weren't there, you're going to remind everybody about how you lost to this team last year on a Hail Mary. You've had 2 weeks to prepare. I like how you put it. This is everything you've got if you're Chicago.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see how they respond. You got two young quarterbacks. That's a sexy Monday night matchup if it was the only game.
Which it should be. We don't need 2 games.
Later.
Here, how about this? What was our 4 o'clock window today?
Yeah.
3 games.
3 games, 2 of which were blowouts.
Take Bears and Washington, put them on Sunday 4:25. Do that for me. Who the hell needs 2 Monday night games?
And I'm excited to see, okay, Bills and Falcons. It's Falcons off a bye. We like the Falcons run game. We think you can run on the Bills. We're also, I feel like you and I have been big on Atlanta making the playoffs this year. This is a big-time statement spot at home. See what they can do.
And if the Bears want to be taken seriously, there's a big difference between 2-3 and 3-2. You know, this is a battle between 2 NFC wildcard type teams. So, yeah, show me. All right, word from Crocodile Cloth, and then we will get people to where they really want to be. Sunday Night Football.
All right, well, we got a second. Let's tell you about Crocodile Cloth. It's your do-it-all solution for life's toughest messes, and we love the Crocodile Cloth grill. Here's why. If you love grilling but hate the cleanup, these are going to be a game changer. They've got Crocodile Cloth grill. They're 10-inch by 15-inch. They stay wet a long time, and they're going to power through anything that gets caked on or baked on your grill. Crocodile Cloth can clean your cooler, your outdoor furniture, anything and everything that gets messy at your tailgate or cookout. So go to crocodilecloth.com/football show. Get a tailgate bundle and a free gift. As they say at Crocodile Cloth, go ahead, get messy.
Now, before we go to Sunday Night Football, is tonight a menu night for you, or are you too nervous, or what's the play here for Ultimate Lions fan?
I was going to say, I don't have like a spread.
Okay, I just didn't know. This is a big game. Or are you waiting for Monday night for that?
Oh, no. I mean, this is the highlight of the week now. I mean, the Lions have to save the weekend for the state of Michigan. Like they emotionally, this is on them to put.
Thanks for listening, everybody. It's been a blessing. I'll get to that on Wednesday. All right. I ain't got no time for those clown asses up there in East Lansing. Just leave me alone.
No, I didn't even, if you're a Spartan or a Wolverine or a Tiger fan, like all of it, we need the Lions, a little bit of glue.
Dude, I know.
Hold us together.
Just tonight, it's Lions Chiefs. One day at a time. Guys, we really appreciate you watching, listening. Go enjoy your football game. Will you please get the hell out of here? We'll talk to you guys next week.